Good morning and welcome back to From the Couch with Healing Journey Counseling. I'm Amber Herring. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a licensed addictions counselor. Ever wonder why in an argument with our partner, we may be trying very, very hard not to do the things that we know that are reinforcing the argument, like silent treatment or shutting down or walking away or kind of getting bigger, getting louder. We kind of know rationally that those things might be actually reinforcing the argument or the conflict, and we just can't help ourselves. Brain science might have something to say about that or to explain that. When we think about brain development, so if my fist here is the brain, our brains develop from kind of this part up this way. So in the womb, when our brains are developing, this part develops first. This is the brainstem. This is the part of our brain that kind of houses all the automatic stuff, heart rate, pulse, breathing, the things that we can't really be bothered to think about. Those things just happen. From there, our midbrain or our limbic system develops. This is kind of where my thumb is. So this part of the brain houses our emotional experience, our fight or flight response, our pleasure pathway when we experience things as pleasurable. All of that happens here in the midbrain. This is kind of our instinctual brain, the part of our brain that picks up on things before kind of the complex thinking. Complex thinking happens in this part of the brain. So the cerebral cortex kind of houses our rational brain, our pros and cons, our abstract thinking, our being able to kind of think big picture and put things, kind of the puzzle together. All of that happens here in this part of the brain. When we're in an argument with our partner, typically we're responding from this part of the brain, so that limbic system, the midbrain that houses all of our emotional fight or flight kind of experiences. That part of the brain is activated, not necessarily the rational kind of thinking through big picture part of the brain. If we think about kind of how our ancestors kind of adapted and why this might be important for our ancestors, we needed a piece of our system to alert us to danger before the rational part got involved. So we needed something that could pick up on danger pretty quickly, motivate us to move before we could kind of think through it. That same part of the brain is what's getting activated when there's a relationship threat, right? So our ancestors, the threats were food scarcity and predators. Now, this old system, the limbic system that used to alert us to dangers like food scarcity and predators, now alerts us to dangers like big emotional experiences, trauma, interpersonal kind of conflict. When connection or my relationship is at risk, the limbic system experiences that as a threat. In the limbic system is where the fight or flight response happens. So this is where, our system will just naturally freeze, flee, or fight when under threat. It makes sense that when we're in a relationship and connection is at risk, my limbic system might take me back to what is my tendency? Do I flee? Do I fight? Or do I freeze? Do I give the silent treatment? Do I get bigger? Or do I walk away? Depending on kind of the limbic system of my partner, right, they're responding in a very instinctual way too, and the combination of that can be problematic. We're both kind of in our fight or flight, desperately trying to kind of maintain connection because we feel the threat of connection, and yet the way our limbic system is functioning is reinforcing the conflict. This process can be kind of trained. We can practice skills to kind of quiet that system and re-engage the cerebral cortex. That process takes time, takes intention, takes lots of skill building, lots of awareness, and can be done and can be explored in individual and couples counseling work. If you're interested in moving forward, please visit www.ajourneytowardhealing.com.